Okay, good morning. Today I'm going to teach you how to make gummy Sprite. So as you can see, I'm turning on my stove. The heat's down pretty low. Get out my pan and I'm going to add a cup of water and I'm going to go over and get another cup of water and pour that in. And while that is heating up, I get out my lime Jello. That is 6 ounces, and just get that opened up. And we're gonna pour it right in. Put the lime Jello right in. That will give it the color of Sprite, since we all know that Sprite does not have color, it's just clear, so we have to do something to make it work. So we're doing lime Jello. And then we have some unflavored gelatin. We're gonna need 8 packages. Now it takes a little while to pour this in, so I'm just gonna do 4 at a time. There's 4 of them. Now this gelatin has no flavor. This is the key ingredient though. This is what's going to make your gummy gummy. So you put in 4 more packages of gelatin, shake it all out. And now we are just going to stir, 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 stir. As you can see, it's starting to get clumpy. So put it back and forth, and we're just gonna work on getting all the little clumps out. Just gonna stir, stir, stir. Everything's starting to heat up now, which will make the clumps go in a little bit easier. And when I kind of press those clumps against the side of the pan, it helps a little bit. And we're just gonna stir, 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 and keep going because we don't want any of those chunks in our gummy Sprite. So we take our Sprite and we are going to pour it in a glass because we don't need the Sprite because the Sprite is clear. So we're replacing everything. All we're using is the bottle. So you can just enjoy that bottle of Sprite. And we're going to fill it all the way up, get it all the way out. And of course it's bubbly, but we're gonna pour, pour, pour. And then this part's a little bit tricky because these are super sticky. So we're taking off the wrapper, take it off the other side, and just keep pulling on it. You're gonna try and get all that off so that it's not transparent. So we're pulling that off. As soon as you get this first part, that's the tricky part, then see, it slides right off. So you're going to save that part for later. So set that aside because that is the only part we're going to be using. Now on this part, make sure you have an adult help you because these are hard to cut. You get this razor blade and you just cut that down so we don't have to do it after because that would cut right into your Jello. And now we have a problem because it would leak right out of there. So we grab a piece of duct tape, and that duct tape's a little bit too long, but that's okay because all we need to do is cover up the hole. So we stick it on there and we seal it everywhere. Tear off the top and we're sealing it down. Push it down, and push it at the bottom because we don't want it to leak anywhere. And this is what's going to give us the shape of our Sprite bottle. So let's go back and check on our gelatin mix. And it looks like it's just about right. Most of the clumps are out. And so just keep stirring that, get it all mixed in. And we really want to be careful with the bubbles because we don't want it bubbled up too much. But as soon as it starts to get hot, the bubbles start to form. So I'm just stirring, stirring, stirring because we want to get all the bubbles out, all the foam out, and we just stir like crazy. Looks like it's ready to turn up the heat a little bit because we're going to want that to get nice and hot. And the whole time I just keep stirring so we can get everything out. Looks like it's getting a little bit clearer. Now, one part you didn't see, I waited for the mixture to cool off, and I grabbed a little funnel so we can get it right in there, and we start to pour it in. It's still a little bit hot, but this is gonna work because it's not too bubbly. So we just pour it all the way to the top, and of course we want it to go all the way out the lid. So I just keep pouring, and then the bubbles come out the top a little bit. I'm just gonna wipe those off and take them out just a little bit because we want that liquid to go all the way to the top. And it's gonna spill a little bit, that's okay because we want it all the way up. So we're just gonna wipe that off, wipe it down the side, make sure we clean up our mess, and put the lid on so that it doesn't spill. And we are going to put this in the fridge for 24 hours. Okay, that was a fast 24 hours. Now we're going to test it. Take that lid off. Take the tape off. And if you're a kid and doing this, you're gonna wanna ask for a parent's help again because we're gonna have to use our knife again. So this part is a little bit tricky. That tape was on there really good. As you can see, we don't even have to worry about it leaking out because it was on there so strong. Now this bottle is so strong, and so I'm gonna get out my knife again and just keep cutting it. Try not to cut the gummy because then that'll give our secret away. But it's gonna cut it a little bit, and that's okay. So we're just gonna cut, and take it all the way up, and just slowly start to pull it open. This would be a lot easier if these bottles weren't so strong, but these bottles are strong, so we just have to keep pulling at it. And you're probably going to need an adult's help right now. As you can see, it's kind of tearing away easily once you get it started. So we go all the way around. We don't want the gummy to break, so we keep pulling it, and oh, let's see if we can get that bottom off without breaking it. And we did it. So the next part's easy. We just pull it off and kind of slide it out. And see if you can do it without breaking the neck of the bottle off, because then it wouldn't really look like a Sprite bottle. And we have it. And look at that, you can see all the indents. That is perfect. So then we get out our Sprite bottle again, and we start to wrap it around. And we put it on exactly where it was on the other side. And it kind of just sticks right to it because it's a little bit sticky. And now it looks just like a Sprite bottle did. Now the lid doesn't fit exactly because it's a little bit too big, but we got it all done, and that is our gummy Sprite bottle.